Hey, what's up, ladies and gentle tubers? It's Tyler. Welcome back to the Everride channel. And man, I am just enjoying this. I've been sitting here on my bike, just looking over this landscape, enjoying a very slight breeze, perfect weather for probably the last 20 minutes. I'm not, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do a motovlog, but I decided I probably ought to. It's been a little while. It's been a while since I've been on the bike even. It's been so hot. But do you ever just come out and into the wilderness somewhere and stop somewhere? Usually if you're riding alone, that's when I do it. But then you just like stop and take it in. Like, oh my gosh. I'm a lucky duck. I'm so lucky. I love this. But anyway, let's get started. So, this is some steepness. Oh boy, what do we got here? So much for peace and quiet, right? Loud motorcycle, start doing crazy stuff. I have something pretty awesome to talk about today. Something that's kind of near and dear to my heart. It's both a triumph and a tragedy, in my opinion. My good friend, I'll start up on that in a minute. First, I want to remind you real quick that the auction for the KTM 1190 ends tonight at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Right now, I think the bid is at $8,000. Which is like $2,000 less than what they normally go for in Utah anyway, in classifieds here. So if you want to pick up a KTM 1190 for an awesome deal, holy cow, that looks amazing. If you want to pick up a KTM 1190, that auction will end tonight. That is one of the best motorcycles out there, in my opinion. I love it. Absolutely love it. And it'll be sad to see it go. To be totally honest, I probably, if I didn't put so much sponsored stuff onto this motorcycle and have obligations with that, I'd probably sell this one over the 1190. That's just such a great touring bike. An amazing adventure bike. Anyway, also, rallies. I'm so stoked. So stoked for rallies coming up. A lot of them are filling up. It's funny because some rallies are like totally filled up, and then some rallies have like one person. So I don't know what's up with that. Sometimes I guess it's just like popular dates. Anyway, rallies, I'm really looking forward to those. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. Wow, that's pretty much straight down. I'm just so stoked for those rallies though to start up. This has been a long summer, a long summer, right? I mean, not just because of the world events and things like that, but when you've got young kids and they've been out of school since I think March. They're back in school now, so things are kind of getting back to the norm. I miss them already. I loved hanging out with my kids. It was great during the summer, but time to get back to work, and I'm so grateful that I get to do just that. Boy, howdy. I'm just kind of tooling around today, just kind of doing a little scouting, honestly, and seeing what kind of things I can find out here that might be fun for some of the shred rallies that we do. I was here with my friend Garrett a while ago, and we found a really fun dry river wash to go through, and I'd like to find that again. But anyway, so yeah, KTM 1190 auction ends tonight, and the rallies are coming up soon. I would love to have you guys out here for one of those rallies. If you've been to a rally, share your honest experience in the comments below. It'd be good for other people to hear about what really happens, like, obviously I'm going to pitch it as the coolest thing you'll ever do. I have fun on them. I love them. I love doing them. Some people I think love them. I'm sure some people come out and they're like, well, that was weird, because anyway. Let's try to find that river wash. But I want to tell you guys a really cool story, and it's really kind of tragic as well. So a while ago, well, a long time ago, my very first rally that I did, there was a young gentleman by the name of Ted Bully who came out to the rally, and he was just 22 years old at the time, and for a 22-year-old, he had the best beard I'd ever seen. Just a real talented beard grower. No, really, just, I mean, he did have a good beard. I'm not saying he didn't, but like, not that that matters at all. That's the end of the story. He had an amazing beard. So anyway, he came out to the first ever rally, had a great time, just built great relationships. His Instagram handle is MadRiggle, M-A-D-R-I-G-G-L-E. And it was really cool because while I was on Instagram, I haven't been on for a long time, it was awesome to see that most of the guys who came on those initial rallies, Greg and Al and Rick and, you know, all these guys, they all followed each other on Instagram, and they always left comments, and they just had a really cool camaraderie with each other. And I'm sure they went on a couple of rides with each other. Al's been back a few times, and I've kept a really good relationship with Ted for a long time, and that was a big blessing in my life. But anyway, I made a video about him. I actually made two videos about him. One video was to document that first ever micro rally back when they were a week long, which we're doing again. And the second video was talking specifically about Ted. And I'll put a link to that up in the corner so you can watch that. I highly, highly, highly recommend you watch that. Even if you watched it before, I watched it again recently for reasons that I'll reveal soon, but I just have to say it puts watching that video will put a whole different perspective on this video. But so spoiler alert, I'm gonna spoil that video, so if you want to watch it, go watch it. But if you want to stick around, I'm gonna spoil it. Ooh, let's go down this steepness right here. That's some steepness. Gonna use some Barry Morris technique downhill. That didn't sound good, because Barry broke his back going downhill. I didn't mean to reference his back breaking. He just recently had a video on Facebook talking about going downhill. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway. So this video that I made about Ted, basically a while ago. Ooh, is that the river wash? That could be the river wash. Let's drop down here. Oh, maybe I was just in the river wash. Does it come up this way? Let's go down this way. All these videos should just be called like Getting Lost with Everride. At least I'm having fun. I don't know if you are. I'm loving life. Oh, this bike is pretty stinking good. All right, where am I at now? What am I doing? Okay, anyway. I'm so rusty, guys. It's been so long. Oh, this is so much. Look at that. Look at the texture of that. It doesn't look like it's silty, but it is through here, I guess. But anyway. Oh. Wow. Yeah, that's very silty right there. Okay, anyway, back to Ted. So Ted messaged me a while ago, and again, young kid, 22 years old. And, you know, we had a pretty good relationship. And he was like, hey, I want to get your idea on this. basically what's going on is I really want to go travel. I really want to just kind of see the world and experience life before I really kind of dig into the adulting thing. Before I get started with school and family and things like that, and jobs. And he just said, so I'd really like to travel, but I don't want to, make my family upset. Why? Oh my gosh. Oh. It's not like this is hard stuff. Guys, I haven't ridden a motorcycle in a long time. And I haven't motovlogged for a long time. That also is a contributing factor to my terribleness. Also, well, there's also other things going on with body and medications, and I'll have to talk about all that stuff later, but what? Oh my gosh. Wow, rusty. Everybody else has had summer and gotten good at riding motorcycles, and here I am square one. Oh, anyway, now we're totally off any kind of trail. There's a trail. Anyway, so if you're still following me through this story, or trying to anyway, I keep crashing. Everybody's like, wait, this guy teaches how to ride motorcycles at his rallies? What? Well, I'll do my best. Oh, geez. Think of it as one of those Nate Bargatze, the reptile porium or whatever it was. Anyway, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, go watch Nate Bargatze on Netflix. You'll laugh your face off. Yeah, I'm rusty. Okay, back to Ted. I'm so sorry, guys. So, anyway, he sent me this message and he just said, yeah, I really want to go travel, but, a lot of people are pressuring me, telling me that's irresponsible, that I shouldn't do that I should get started with my life. And, I wrote back to him and basically said, Ted, travel is, I think I found the big river wash. Yeah, this is the cool well, it's not a big one, but it's a cool one. How cool is it really? I remember it being really cool, but maybe it's not that cool. I don't know. Anyway, I basically just said travel is education. Travel's an investment. Having a lifelong adventure, not a lifelong adventure, but, having the adventure of a lifetime, I could have gone through there, and I probably should. Yeah, I want to go back and go through there. Anyway, having this opportunity to travel while you're young and healthy and you have the means, and, I just said, now's a good time to do that, you know what I mean? My goodness, I have a motorcycling YouTube channel. Riding motorcycles is how I feed my family. And yet, I still don't have those kind of opportunities to travel like that and just do those huge things, Anyway, so Ted got himself a DR650, and he rode it 9,000 miles across the United States on, what he documented on Instagram to be an amazing journey. Once he crossed the United States, he wasn't done. He booked a flight. In fact, one of the last messages he sent me through Patreon was, he was basically like, hey, I just sold the DR650. I'm booking a flight to Peru. And he went down and lived in Central America for a while. And I didn't really hear a lot from him. from that point forward. Mainly because he canceled his patronage. Not like that would, exclude me from talking to him or anything like that, but Patreon does weird things and you can't contact the people who you're patrons to. So anyway, we contacted each other through Instagram after that, but then on Instagram, I got kind of fed up with Instagram and haven't been on Instagram for a long, long time. So anyway, we kind of lost communication, but occasionally I'd hop on Instagram and follow him, on his journeys and on his adventures, and kind of lost touch after a while. Anyway, I got the news this July that Ted had passed away. He got a brain tumor, blastoma, I think it is, but he got a brain tumor and passed away. And so, massively tragic. And the person who broke the news of that to me was, of course, my good friend Al, who was a good friend of Ted's and was on the rallies. And so that was just really heartbreaking to me, But at the same time, triumphant. Ted lived more in 3 years than a lot of people live in 80 years. Ted did more with his life in 3 years than many people, including myself, have done in a long time. So, it's a huge loss that Ted passed away. I know he's in a better place. That's part of my testimony, that he's in a better place. I do definitely believe in an afterlife, and he was a good dude. I mean, he was just a generally awesome guy. So it is tragic that he passed. And I was pretty shook up when I heard that news. Just because I was like, dude, Ted, he was super young. It's weird to think of it this way, but I'm almost, well, not really, but I'm close to double his age, I guess. And so that was tragic to hear of his passing. But at the same time, he lived a really good life those last couple of years. And it's sad. I haven't been on Instagram for so long. I jumped on recently. Oh, is somebody shooting around here? I heard a pop. Anyway, we're just going to cruise back that way. I'm going to play around in that single track a little more, but anyway, it's just kind of sobering. Very, very sad that he passed away so young. Cancer is garbage, man. I hate cancer. But how fortunate, just kind of looking hindsight-wise, it's always 2020. But hindsight-wise, I'm so glad that he chose to go and live his life. He had no idea when he started on that adventure that he would only be alive for 3 more years. That cancer was really quite sudden and devastating. His last picture on Instagram is of him in front of a cool Honda Nighthawk at the cancer center. So, just kind of tragic. Just really crappy that way. But at the same time, I can celebrate his life. I can be like, man, that's a good example. That's something that's pretty awesome. Of course, I'm not advocating for people who are married with kids and responsibilities and things like that to just drop everything and go travel. But I am advocating to think about it. Think about things that matter most to you. What are some things that, if you were going to pass away in 3 years, what are some things that you would want to do? And a lot of people, I think this is a mistake that I make and that a lot of people make. is the bucket list, right? It's not a mistake to have a bucket list at all. But it's a mistake to wait until you're, you know, perhaps too old to even do things on your bucket list. I don't know. Ooh, that to the left looked really cool too. There's 2 washes here, and both look really good. This is the one that I was in earlier, and this one looks fun too. We'll just cut down here. But, so you guys, that's kind of the motovlog for today. We don't know what's going to happen in our lives. We don't know what is coming 3 years down the road. Whoa, this canyon's looking gnarly down through here. Oh, but it's cool. Let's cruise along the rim and see what we can find down in there. But anyway, we don't know what our future holds. And you know, all I can say is it would have been kind of tragic if Ted would have just gone to school. I mean, that's the tricky part. We don't know our futures. We don't know our futures. And so, you know, if Ted would have gone to school, he wouldn't have had those experiences to kind of cap off his life. But then again, if he'd gone to school, I don't know, and you're depending on your life to go on a lot longer than what actually happens, then school is a really good thing. So I don't know, guys. It's just, fate is kind of weird, right? If that's what you want to call it. Whatever God has in store for you, it's kind of weird. Sometimes it can be really tragic, and sometimes it can be beautiful and amazing. Some people live lives until they're, 100 years old, and don't live as much as Ted did in 3. Then again, some people, I don't know. It's just hard. It's difficult. But I guess the whole point of this video, the whole point of my message today is just to say, don't wait to do the things that you love. Do it responsibly. Like, if Ted had a family and stuff like that, I wouldn't have been like, yeah, go ahead, leave your wife and kids and go, party. But because he was in a situation where he could do those things, I'm sorry for crawling through here. I'm glad that I encouraged him to go for it, and I'm glad that he had the courage to do it. I mean, that's a scary thing, like going against some of the wishes of your family and advisors and things like that. All right, here we go. Into the unknown. Copyright claim demonetized. Can you tell I have little kids? I hope you can, because otherwise you're going to be like, what's he singing Disney for? It's not the first time, won't be the last. Woo, buddies. What happens over here? How long has it been since I did a... Hey, that worked pretty good. Oh, look at this. It's a way up and out. Oh, this is Loopville. Oh my gosh. Okay. Maybe I want to stay in this little canyon. How do you guys feel if I, the story about Ted has... Whoop. No, I'm just digging in. Oh, I'm off the trail here. Okay. Let's just do a little squiggle scoot here. There we go. Look at that nice little trench I dug. How good of me. No, I hate it when I do that. All right. Okay. There we go. Back in the saddle. So, and then it's gonna end literally right here, maybe? I don't know. But you guys, put what you think about that in the comments. Not just what you think, but talk to me about what you're gonna do about it. You know, we can always say, yeah, you gotta go out and live your life. You've gotta go, you know, experience things before you get old or tired or dead or whatever. I've gone up that before, but I had a friend with me. Not today. Anyway, yeah. Let me know what you guys think, though. Let me know what you think in the comments. For you producers, let's talk about this in the group. I want to hear your thoughts. What are you planning on doing? And I don't mean just like planning on as in like, oh, someday in the future, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and it'll be great. But like, what are you taking steps? What's on the calendar? You know? It's hard for me in the summer because it's so hot, yet I'm not just going to leave my family to go, you know, do some huge trip. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to do. I personally have a real big struggle doing that. And I learned that on the West Coast Adventure Tour. And I never finished that series because realistically, after I left British Columbia, I got really depressed and really homesick. And so all of the vlogs after that point were just really quite depressing. And honestly, you know, looking back, that probably would make some pretty interesting video and story and insight into, you know, my take on adventure, but, you know, realistically, I'm just kind of not built for that. That's why I definitely prefer the kind of ride out of my basement type of rides. I'll talk more about that later, but yeah, guys, just what are you doing? What are you doing to grab life more fully? I'd love to hear it. Anyway, that's enough rambling for me. I'm going to stop here and do another little video about this green chili adventure gear that I've got on this bike. I love it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the week, and hopefully we'll see you this fall and winter when the weather's terrible. When the weather's terrible everywhere else. It's going to be just like this here, you know, low 70s, mid 60s. Amazing riding. I'm going to be back in shape, hopefully. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let's learn from Ted. He lived an awesome life. It's a tragedy that we lost him. He was a good dude, but there's a lot we can learn from his example and his courage. So thanks again for watching, guys. Much love to all of you. Have a ride out.